All right, Josh, can you still see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Brian Riley. I'm the Vice President of Centric Benefits Consulting. We're here today to talk about Express Stores 2019 Health Plan Open Enrollment. This presentation is for the store level employees. We have a lot to cover today. I'm going to do my best to cover everything. I'm going to speak much faster than I normally would like, out of respect for your time and to leave as much time available for questions at the end. I'm going to be joined today by Joshua Saunders from AFLAC, who's going to spend a few minutes going over the benefit offerings there. I'm also joined by James Dades from Legal Shield, who's going to talk about a new plan offering made available to you at Express Stores. The most important thing I think I can do today is to make sure that you are familiar and comfortable with your HR Connection website. You'll find all the benefit information on this site. There's a ton of information. I won't be able to click on everything, but I will try to highlight and teach you how to navigate the site. It's www.hrconnection.com. The username is Express Stores. Exactly how it's typed there. It is case sensitive. So you'll notice that there's a capital E to begin Express and a capital S to begin Stores. Again, it's all one word, but it is case sensitive. So with that, once you log on to hrconnection.com and put in the username, you will find yourself on this page here. This is your HR Connection website. There's a lot of information. I'll highlight some things for you. On the left-hand side here, we have the contact information for both myself and Maria Gerkens at Centric's office. If you have any questions that you don't feel comfortable asking in a group setting such as this. Of course, Jennifer Trevino's information. She's your benefit specialist at Express Stores. Her contact information is available as well. We have links for all the various coverages, but in case anyone just wanted to log on, get the information they need, and move on with the rest of their day, on the right-hand side there, you'll see customer service numbers, phone numbers for SNS Health, phone numbers for Cigna. Cigna's still the insurance carrier until the end of the month, so their information's there as well. MagnaCare, AFLAC, your 401k, your cashable rewards program, so on and so forth. Going below, there's links. How to find a provider, whether it's dental or medical, how to find a provider that is participating in the network. All that information can be found here. At the bottom, you'll see some wellness information. This will change monthly, so come back and log on and check the benefits again. We'll be changing this information roughly on a monthly basis for you. So let's go to the middle. We'll save this top blue bar for later. Let's go to the middle. Express Stores benefit overview. On these pages, you'll find benefit summaries, rate forms, and contact information for the plans that are available to you. You are participating as of this moment on the second of 2 webinars that we are hosting to go over the benefits. A recording of this webinar is being made, and we hope to add that to the site later. 1 second, please, while I admit some more people onto the call. Health plan materials, we went over this in the beginning. This website that we're going to be going over is hrconnection.com, username, case sensitive, Express Stores. Enrollment is going to be through Balance Point, and I'm sure you're all familiar with Balance Point already. The enrollment is going to be Balance Point. Actually, quick housekeeping item. Please mute all of your lines if you would, just so that we don't get any background noise. Appreciate that. So new for August 1st, benefit open enrollment flyer. You probably saw this in your email inboxes, I would imagine. Jennifer sent this out. And Jennifer Trevino and Melanie did a great job here on this attachment right here. We can't open it now given the time that we have, but it's an open enrollment audio presentation for August 1st, 2019. It goes over a lot of what we're going to talk about today. They did a very good job with it, so take a listen to that. New for August 1st, 2019. So right now, the core plans that we have are with Cigna. We are moving away from Cigna in part, SNS Health is going to take over the administration of the plan. However, we did get an exception from Cigna to allow us to continue to use the Cigna network. We fought for that exception for obvious reasons. We wanted this transition to be as easy as possible. So having the same network moving forward obviously eliminates concern about network disruption. So we were able to get that exception, but SNS Health will be administering the plan, not Cigna. It will be using the Cigna network. The benefits will remain the same on the 3 Cigna plans. We're not changing any of the benefits. So I know that that's a big concern. You talk to family and friends, they talk about price and plans and everything changing every year. The plans are not changing. The MagnaCare MEC plan and the Redirect Health plan are both staying. We'll go over those plans, but if you're currently enrolled in those today, they are staying. SNS Health, as we said, has replaced Cigna as the plan administrator. Just a red note here, please do not call Cigna, because Cigna is not the one who's insuring us and handling the plan. We're using their network. So if you have, I'll go back up to the top for a moment. If you have a question prior to August 1st, you call Cigna. Phone number's right here. If you have a question on August 1st or after, you'll be calling SNS Health. All right, phone number's up here. Pharmacy will be handled by a company called Express Scripts. Everything's going to be administered underneath SNS's umbrella. I would like to remind anyone who's on a chronic, chronic medication, or they're on a drug that needed to be pre-authorized, excuse me, everyone, then your pre-authorization will need to be updated come August 1st. So you'll do that with your doctor, just like you did for the initial authorization for that drug. That's not a reflection of the change. That's just a reflection of the society that we're in. You see it on the news all the time, opioid crisis and other concerns. So drugs are being watched and monitored closely to make sure that everything's above board and correct, and no one's endangering themselves, and there's no doctors inadvertently endangering their patients. Enrollment is required. So this is really important, everyone. We're not going to just simply move you over to SNS. If you're already enrolled in MagnaCare or Redirect Health, we're not simply going to auto-renew your coverage. This is an active enrollment. Everyone needs to make an enrollment choice. So if you're enrolling again, enroll again. If you're moving from one plan to the other, move from one plan to the other. If you are waiving, you still need to report in on Balance Point that you are waiving the coverage and where your coverage is, why you're waiving. You're on your spouse's plan, you're on your parent's plan. Whatever the case may be, it's fine. But the government puts a responsibility onto all employers to tell the government if they're insured, if they were offered coverage, whether or not they took the coverage, and if they didn't take the coverage, do they have coverage elsewhere? It's a very arduous task that the government has laid on the shoulder of employers. We need your help with it. So even if you're not enrolling in the coverage, you still need to go online and actively waive the coverage. This is your open enrollment, mind you. So the open enrollment actually started July 2nd, and it goes until July 11th. Any decisions you make will take effect August 1st, 2019. If you presently waive the insurance, but you'd like to enroll, now's your opportunity to do it. If you currently are enrolled in the insurance, but you're entertaining the coverage offered through your spouse's employer or your parent's employer, again, whatever the case may be, this is your qualifying event to enroll in that other coverage. Now, qualifying event, if you waive the coverage now, 3 months go by, and you decide that you want to sign up for the coverage, you can't. Very sorry, it's not Express's rule, it's certainly not my rule. It's the government's rule. You can only enroll at your open enrollment period unless you have a qualified event. So what's a qualified event? A qualified event is loss of your other coverage. You waive the insurance because you have coverage elsewhere, and then you involuntarily lose that coverage. That's a qualifying event. You can enroll on the coverage here. You get married. That's a qualifying life-changing event. You have children. James, that's certainly a qualifying event. That's certainly a life-changing event. So those opportunities will allow you to make those off-anniversary changes, but barring any of those examples, this is your opportunity to enroll, waive in this insurance or your spouse's insurance, all right? So the employee cost, obviously that's a big concern for everyone, and you'll be happy to hear the news that I have for you on that front. And then contact information, of course, you've got the team at Centric. You're going to see the contact phone numbers for both Joshua at Aflac and James at Legal Shield. And then, of course, you have Jennifer Trevino and the HR team as well. So let's go up to the blue bar. So again, you have a lot of topics here. We're not going to be able to cover them all. I'm going to jump to health benefits. And since it's a big concern for everyone, I'll go to the employee contributions right away. So you have employee contributions listed here, how to sign up for benefits listed as well, if you need instruction on how to do that. I'll click on employee contributions. All right. So the dental and vision, those are not changing at all. So they are exactly what they are today. So if you're currently enrolled or you're considering enrolling in the dental or the vision plan, now the company that administers that plan is called Reliance Standard, but the network they use is Ameritas. So those are your rates there. I'll close that one. And these, the second click that you could have made, store employee medical plan contributions, effective 8/1/2019. That will bring you to that second attachment, which is this. So as I said before, the plan designs are not changing. We're just simply changing the administrator. It's going to continue to be the Cigna network, but the 3 plans that were underneath Cigna's umbrella will remain in place. The high plan has a $500 single deductible, $1,000 for an employee with 1 or more dependents. The middle plan, the deductible is $2,000, $4,000. $2,000 single, $4,000 for employee with 1 or more dependents. Now that deductible does not apply to everything on those plans. As you can see with this is just a very high level listing of the benefits. More in-depth information is available on the site. But as you can see, where it says 30% coinsurance after deductible, that's when the deductible applies. Now, if anyone has a question about deductible, think about your auto insurance. Heaven forbid you get into an accident. Before the insurance company pays anything, you have a deductible to satisfy first, right? Same thing for those particular services. You have to satisfy the deductible before the insurance company pays anything. But if you go to the doctor's office, there is no deductible. It's just straight up copay. Hasn't changed from last year. It continues to be $30 for a primary, $50 for a specialist. Emergency room, $100 either plan, $100 copay for either plan. Urgent care, $75 copay for either plan. All right. Prescription drug, 3-tier prescription drug benefit. So we'll go through those quickly. Generic drugs, I think everyone knows what a generic is. $10 copay, if it's that much, actually, because some generic drugs are less than $10. So if it's less than $10, last drug I picked up was $4.62, I think. I would pay the $4.62, but it won't be more than the $10. Name brand, non-formulary. So assume, if you would, there are 4 drugs out on the market, and ostensibly, they all do the same thing. They all treat the same condition. The insurance company is going to take the drugs that give them the best discount and put them on their preferred list, their name brand formulary preferred list. Since they are paying less, they can share that with you, and you'll pay a lower copay, $35 for that preferred drug. If the drug is not on their preferred list, you still have the ability to get it at your discretion, but you would pay a higher copay, $60, if it's not on the preferred list. Of course, you can go onto Express Scripts website. It's back on the homepage to see what drugs are on the preferred list, or you can simply ask your pharmacist. They have access to that information as well. Let's talk about the health savings account option. Now this one, to start off, it's got a much higher deductible, $5,000 for a single, $10,000 for an employee with one or more dependents. So your quick question is, why would I sign up for that? This is actually the plan that I'm enrolled in with my wife and my 2 daughters. So what we decided to do was elect a health savings account option. We understand that on this plan, everything goes towards the deductible first. So the insurance company doesn't assist us until we've satisfied the deductible. Some of you might call it a catastrophic plan, more of like the heaven forbid plan. But what our opinion was, my wife and I, we prefer to pay less premium, putting less money in the insurance company's coffers, and instead use that money that was freed up to put in our own coffers. The IRS, for anyone who enrolls in a health savings account plan, will allow you to save money into your HSA bank account on a pre-tax basis. Uncle Sam never touches that money. So if you have, when it comes time to do your taxes, you list how much money you've deposited into your HSA, and you can write that off on your taxes like you would your student loan interest or mortgage interest. You would write that off on your taxes. So there's a tax savings there. Do not confuse this with a flexible spending account that has the dreaded use it or lose it feature. That's not the case with the health savings account. With the health savings account, any money I put into the account that is still there at the end of the year rolls into the next year. So it turns into kind of like a medical 401k. I can put the money in on a pre-tax basis. As long as I take the money out for an eligible expense, medical, dental, vision, as long as I take the money out for an eligible expense, I don't pay taxes on that money. So it's a great savings vehicle because, some of us have present conditions that we are concerned about, and we'll elect one of these 2 plans here, and that's fine. There is no best plan. There's a best plan for the right person. For me and my family, the best plan was the HSA. So for us, we don't have, knock on wood, a lot of expenses. So we're going to save that money so that when the year comes down the road where, Bridget falls out of a tree and breaks her arm, or, someone gets sick, we have money saved up in our HSA account. And if everything goes well, down the road, we can use this money in our retirement. The money that you save up in this account, you can use to pay for a long-term care facility if you find yourself in that situation. Or if you're prudent and you want to buy a long-term care policy down the road, you can use the money in your HSA account to pay the premium on that policy. So there's a lot of advantages to that plan for the right person. We'll talk about the HSA a little bit more later. Actually, I'll take a moment to go down and look at the rates. So we talked about how much savings you have if you elect an HSA plan. So we used the savings on the premium, and we took that money and we put it back into our HSA bank account to save. Now, all of you read news online, you watch the news, you talk to friends and family. Healthcare costs are a big concern. They're going up every year. Now, the same held true for Express Stores with one caveat. The executive team at Express Stores did not want to pass on the increase to any of you. So they decided that they would take the increase themselves. It was a beautiful reflection of how much value they see in what you do and who you are. So you'll notice, those of you who are currently enrolled in the plan, you'll notice that the contributions are either the same as what you're paying today or a little bit less. So that was good news. The plan designs don't change and your contributions are not going up. So that was a nice outcome, and I thank the executive team at Express Stores for making that happen. Going back up to the two other plans, this is a high-level look at the plans. Again, there's more information on the site. So you have two MEC options, minimal essential coverage options. Now, minimal essential means that it does cover minimum benefits here, all right? That's why it's so much less expensive than the other plans. The MagnaCare MEC is $16. And there's a reason for that. It doesn't cover, as you can see here, it doesn't cover everything that the other plans do. This plan, what's the purpose of these plans? So when it comes to the MagnaCare MEC, we have what's called the individual mandate. That was under the healthcare reform, Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, whatever you want to call it. That individual mandate said that everyone in the country had to have at least minimal essential coverage or they would pay a penalty. No one likes to pay penalties and get nothing in return for what they're paying. So we put the MagnaCare MEC plan in so that you would have something in return for the money that you're spending. But in addition to that, the cost of the MagnaCare MEC is less expensive than what the penalty would be. That's a big advantage. So you're paying less than what the penalty would be. However, you're getting something in return for the money that you're spending. So that is why we put it in place. Now, many of you know that the individual mandate has gone away, at least on the federal level. The Trump administration removed the individual mandate, so everyone doesn't have to have insurance anymore. However, many states enacted their own individual mandates, or plan to. So Vermont, Massachusetts, District of Columbia, New Jersey, Maryland, Connecticut, Rhode Island, James, yes, I know District of Columbia is not a state, but they enacted their own individual mandates so that if you live and reside in those states, even though the federal level has removed the individual mandate, you still have an individual mandate on the federal level. So keep that in mind as you're making your decisions. Bear with me one moment. I'm just going to check the participants and make sure everyone's in who has to be. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're making your election. I challenge anyone to tell me why they would pay the penalty to their state government instead of buying the MagnaCare MEC plan here. And many of you have already done it, so I'm preaching to the choir. There's over 100 people at Express Stores who are enrolled in this plan currently and will probably re-enroll. Everyday Care Plus 30 with Redirect Health. So that's a MEC plan as well, but it offers more benefits than the MagnaCare plan. The feedback that we got from you, the staff, was that you liked having that MagnaCare MEC. It was affordable. You liked having it, but you wanted a bit more. You couldn't quite afford one of the Cigna plans, or now the SNS plans. You couldn't quite afford that, but you wanted more than the MagnaCare. So we filled that hole and answered that need with the Redirect Health Everyday Care Plus plan. So as you can see, it covers more benefits. If you find the MagnaCare MEC doesn't cover hospital at all. The Redirect Health plan, if you find that you end up in an outpatient facility, critical illness, they'll give you $1,000, just a flat $1,000. It's not insurance, but it is some benefit for when you're there. Now, $1,000 will not cover the whole cost of the stay, and we've got Aflac to speak to us more about how we can fill that hole later. But at least you're getting something more from the benefit. Now, the Redirect Healthcare plan is also special in that, the other plans that we've spoken about are all in-network only plans. You cannot go outside of the network. The Redirect Health plan doesn't work with a network, what they work with is health advocacy. So you call them first, you tell them who or what you'd like to see, and then they will guide you to that solution. They will help you negotiate the cost with the doctor or the hospital, so you're not getting that huge bill from the hospital that they typically send out first. You're getting a much more reasonable cost for that care, usually a function of what Medicare would pay. So, but you do, on that plan, you do have to call first, all right? I'd love to go into it more, but I do have to keep moving. Health savings account, we spoke about that. I'll click on the tab for a moment. I'm not gonna click on this stuff, but do some research. Last year, many of you called me up directly and wanted to talk about the HSA more, especially since I've been on it since 2007. So take me up on the offer and call me again. You can do your own research here. 10 reasons to love an HSA, benefit insights, HSA is it right for you, the limits, how much money you can put into the HSA in 2019, so on and so forth. So you have a lot of information here to look at. So I'm going to unmute the microphone so that Josh Saunders can speak. Now, everyone, again, I do not have the ability to only unmute. Actually, Josh, do I have you unmuted?
I am unmuted.
Oh, maybe I do have the ability to unmute one and not all of them. All right, so Josh, so you're unmuted. Josh Saunders is joining us from Aflac to talk about their benefits. Josh, take it away.
Thanks, Brian. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for your time. So I'm going to talk about 4 plans that are available through Aflac. Just a few key points to remember when discussing the Aflac policies. This is a voluntary benefit that's made available to you through Express Stores. So if you choose to participate, you will get access to group plans and group rates. However, if you do leave the organization, if you retire, lose your job, whatever the case may be, you can actually keep these policies on a direct basis at the same group rate that you obtain them at. In addition, the policies are not health insurance, so they're designed to supplement your health insurance. So this is not a replacement for health insurance, but all the benefits in our policies do not coordinate in any way with your health or car insurance or any other insurance that you have, and all the benefits are paid directly to you as the policyholder. So we don't pay doctors, we don't pay hospitals, and we don't coordinate with any other insurance. So the first policy that we are going to talk about today is our accident plan. This is probably Aflac's #1 most popular plan. A lot of the commercials are geared around this policy. And this policy is very simple. It's designed to cover accidents 24 hours a day. How the policy works is Aflac is going to pay you a cash benefit directly as you go through the treatments related to your accident. So the employees that may want to consider this coverage, anyone that has an active lifestyle, if you're involved in sports, perhaps you have children that are playing sports, it's a really great fit for anyone that's on a high deductible health insurance plan. And it's also a good fit if you do have a spouse that's maybe doing dangerous work, construction, plumbing and heating, fire department, police department, any type of work like that. So just to give you a couple example of benefits, say, for example, someone were to go into the hospital due to an accident. Aflac would actually pay that individual $900 for the first day that they enter the hospital. In addition to that, Aflac will also pay out a daily hospital benefit of $225 per day. So that's money that's going directly to you that you can use to help offset copays, deductibles, co-insurance, whatever the case may be, perhaps lost time at work. There's also benefits on this plan for initial treatments. So if someone sprains an ankle, or if they get a concussion, or if they break a bone, they have to go to the doctor, you can get anywhere from $100 to $200 per treatment that you receive for an injury. There's also benefits for things like physical therapy and follow-up. So it's very typical that when you do have an injury, a doctor may have you come back for physical therapy. They may have you come back for follow-up treatments. Each one of those follow-ups may cost you in copay, time, money, gas, whatever the case may be. So the money that Aflac's paying you can be used to help offset these losses. As you can see, Brian is scrolling through. There are a ton of benefits under the accident plan, so I'm just highlighting a couple key ones. But definitely take that open up that brochure and take a look at all the benefits that you can get paid directly in the event that you have an accident. That coverage will extend to you and your children and spouse if you want to enroll them as well. In addition to that, we also have the disability coverage. So short-term disability, obviously everyone works hard for their income. In the event that you were to lose your ability to go to work for a period of time, Aflac is there with our short-term disability. I like to call it paycheck insurance, so that if you're hurt or if you're sick and you cannot work for a period of time, Aflac will pay you a cash benefit every single month that you're out of work. This is a really good fit for, again, anyone that is on the high deductible plan. It's a really good fit for anyone that maybe in the future knows that you're going to be looking to have children. For the females that maybe, will be on maternity leave, this could be a great way to help supplement your state disability. Or if you don't have any state disability, this could be a really great policy to take a look at. Now, for those of you that are covered under any type of state disability, I just want you to know that this policy will not coordinate in any way. So, for example, if you're an employee in New Jersey and you're collecting New Jersey state disability, Aflac will pay their disability payments in addition to the state of New Jersey. So if you're interested in this plan, obviously definitely take a look at the rates, and you can give me a call and we can talk about your personal situation and structure a plan that fits your financial needs and your monthly budget. The next plan I was going to touch on is our hospital coverage. Our hospital plan, another great plan if you're in the high deductible plan. What the hospital coverage is designed to do is pay you a cash benefit directly in the event that you're hospitalized for any reason. So this will cover accidents or illness. So really good fit for the high deductible plan. Nice complement to the disability, especially if you're looking at maternity in the near future. And it's a great complement to the accident plan. This policy will actually pay you $500 the first day in the hospital. And then it will give you $100 per day each day you remain in the hospital for up to 31 days. Now, if you're in intensive care, the policy will pay an additional $100 per day, bringing you to $200 per day for up to 31 days. A nice key feature about this policy as well, there's no pre-existing conditions. So if someone is planning on having a child and they happen to be pregnant already, you can enroll in the plan and collect benefits because there's no pre-existing conditions on this policy. And the last plan I wanted to touch on was our cancer and critical illness coverage. How this policy works is basically Aflac is going to pay you a set cash benefit that you would elect at time of enrollment in the event you're diagnosed with any of the covered critical illnesses. So this policy is going to cover you for cancer, heart attack, stroke, major organ transplants, renal failure, carcinoma in situ, and coronary artery bypass surgery. In the event that you're diagnosed with one of those critical illnesses, you can receive anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000, depending on what you elect at the time of enrollment. In addition, this policy also will pay a $50 annual wellness screening. So if you have the policy and you go for, let's say, a cancer screening, Aflac will give you $50 once a year. And just remember, wellness is covered at 100% under your healthcare. So this is just $50 that you're getting back just to go get a cancer screening once a year. Now, this policy as well is a really good fit for anyone that maybe has any type of critical illnesses that run in their family. Maybe if you're getting a little bit older in age and you're worried about some of the covered critical illnesses, definitely something to take a look at. Perhaps maybe you're a smoker or past smoker, definitely one of our best plans. And in regard to the enrollment process, if you are interested in enrolling in any of the plans, you will see my contact information listed on the website. You could simply just email me at joshua_Saunders@us.aflac.com. Just note that there is an underscore between Joshua_Saunders. And you can set up a time to discuss the plans in more detail. We can help you get enrolled, and I can answer any personal questions you have at that time. So, Brian, that's it for me, unless you want me to add anything else in.
That was great, Josh. Thank you very much. I think everyone's familiar with the duck, but having the extra conversation about it is certainly helpful. Thank you. I'm going to now pass the microphone on to New Benefit. And side note, I am getting a lot of questions on the chat. Thank you very much. We're going to address those after James speaks. but thank you very much for throwing questions our way. Appreciate that. And with that, James Dades from Legal Shield.
Well, good morning, everyone. As Brian stated, my name is James Dades, and I represent Legal Shield. I want to thank Brian and Jennifer for having me in. One of your new benefits available to you is Legal Shield. Legal Shield is composed of 3 components. What we do first and foremost is we leverage the buying power of millions of members, in this case, approximately 4 million members across the United States and Canada. And what we do is we bring together things so that things are more affordable. Some of you may be familiar with the concept as far as the Sam's Club, the Costco's, and things like that, whereas you come as a collective and the price of services or goods comes down. And what we do with this is, our first part is our member perks program. And as you can see from the screen, it covers apparel, automotive, books, cell phones, electronics, office and business. What happens is this: we know that you are constantly fighting for the value of where you want to spend your dollar. We all have hard-earned dollars. And when you think of that thing, what we want to do is we would like for this part of our benefit to actually reimburse you for the money that you elect to pay out to take care of your family. That's one part of it. Now we're going to go to the ID Shield, which is our second part of it, right? Now ID Shield is this: many of us put passwords on our computers. We put alphanumeric, lowercase, uppercase, as far as guarding all those things that are valuable to us. We're going to have something come up on the screen called ID Shield. And what ID Shield does is, when most people think of identity theft protection, they think of it from the standpoint of credit report. But you are more than your credit report. You are what is important to you. And what ID Shield, protects is what is important to you. It protects things like your social security number. It protects things like your passport. It protects things like all of those things, like your mother's maiden name. It protects things like making sure that you aren't on the websites on the dark web, where people are using your information, whereas you can actually be dissected for your mother's maiden name, your social security number, your address, your email. We protect all of those things. And what we do is we do this, and what I'm going to discuss afterwards for Legal Shield, we do it for a little more than $1 a day. So as you're competing for what is important to you and what you would like to protect, what I'd like you to think about is this. On a daily basis, when we go out to lunch, when we go to a vending machine, we elect to go get $1 meal at one of the fast food restaurants. We pick up a piece of candy as we're checking out from a store. It may be $1.30 more. We pick up a bottle of water. I want you to just think about, at those same times that you are making those purchases and indiscriminately, quite honestly, spending money, would you like for your family and yourself to be protected in these ways that I'm going to outline? One is the ID Shield. Now, what we do is we monitor first, and then when anything happens, what we do is we actually assign licensed investigators, because professionals store your information, so you want professionals to restore your information. We do whatever it takes as long as it takes. We're available to you 24/7, so that whatever happens, you can be assured that what we would do is we would ask you to sign a limited power of attorney, so that while you go to work or while you go to play, we go to work for you. So that way you are productive in your work life and you are enjoying yourself in your play life. Now, we do this for as long as it takes to make sure you is restored to pre-theft status. We're going to move into our next benefit, which is Legal Shield. Now, that is our legal plan. Now, many times when we have an identity theft situation, we also have a legal situation that comes from it. Let's say, for instance, someone represents themselves to be you and they stole your health benefit card. Or in my case, I had a situation where my tax return, I had identity theft fraud. Whereas I actually received something from the IRS that stated I was going to receive a check in approximately 3 weeks for over $6,000, right? For approximately $6,000. Now I knew I had yet to file my tax return, but as far as they were concerned, they were going to send me the money. So what I did was I called them. I couldn't get through to them. IRS put me on hold for, I don't know, it was like the top 100 playlist. I was on hold so long. What I did was this. I then called my Legal Shield attorney. I called my Legal Shield attorney what they did was they wrote a letter for me. Now, what happens when you call the attorney and the law firms? What happens when you sign up for this service? You not only have one attorney, you have a law firm, but not just one law firm. You have law firms around the country. So if you have an incident that happens when you're on vacation in Vegas, or when you're at a family reunion in Georgia, or when you're visiting one of the great museums in the District of Columbia, which is not a state.
Yeah, I know.
All of these different things, what happens is your law firm goes with you, just like your healthcare coverage goes with you. Now, what we do is, first and foremost, we give you advice and consultation. We make letters and phone calls on your behalf. We review contracts and documents, up to 15 pages. Now, outside of buying a home, most of us never even sign a 15-page contract. But how many of us ever read the fine print? In cases of emergency. An emergency is not that you're mad at your spouse, significant other, or child. It is really a case of emergency. Usually it involves police officers. Let's say, for instance, you're pulled over at a traffic stop, or someone comes to your home, and what happens is someone's knocking on your door saying, we have a warrant. At that point, you have the ability to call your law firm on the spot. We have an app. Everyone has an app for that, where our app has a red button. It's clearly, that's an emergency. And you can call, and you can get, within 2 minutes, you can have an attorney on the phone. In one case, I had one of our educators who had hired our membership. They got stopped approximately 10:30 at night. They were pulled over by the police. We were able to get them onto the phone with an attorney. The attorney stayed on the phone until the officer said they had to get off. After they were released at the traffic stop, the gentleman actually called me back and he said, Mr. Davis, thank you so much for this service, because I'm sure that I would have gotten arrested if had it not been for my attorney being on the phone and telling the officer what he could not do to me. We cover all these different things, and what we do is, as I stated, we cover it for, at the most, if you covered family as far as the legal plan and family as far as the IV Shield, for about $1.29 a day. Most of us, let me just ask you a question about this. How many hours normally do you have to work to afford 1 hour with an attorney? Well, in this case, whatever your hourly salary is, I hope that you would consider trying out our service. Kick the tires, see how we work for you, and know that we are here for you. My name is James Days. I'm with Legal Shield. My contact information is in front of you. I'm available from 9 a.m. until 10 p.m. by phone, and up until 11 p.m. by text. So I hope that we can help you. I look forward to you. And lastly, pick the plan that resonates with you. If you just use this plan once a year, it will literally pay for itself. So I ask you, we're not looking to see how much we can get out of your pocket, but how much we can keep in and how we can save you money with our member perks, save you time with our identity theft protection, and give you peace of mind with our Legal Shield service. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, James. I'll ask all of you to do your research on your own for the 401k, the Employee Assistance Program. Employee perks and discounts are up on the screen as well, up on the website. You can check these out at your leisure. There's word programs, discounts, perks. Check those out when you can. I'll jump back to the home screen and actually just reduce the size of this a little bit so we can see more on the page. And let's go into questions. First, also my T guy wants to remind everyone, don't ever reuse passwords across multiple accounts and websites. Good tip. Going to the top, issues enrolling through Balance Point, reach out to Jennifer Trevino. If you're having a hard time getting in touch with her at the moment, it's because she's also on this webinar. So as soon as the webinar ends, you'll be able to reach out to Jennifer for Balance Point questions. Do we still use the Cigna website? Use the website links that are available for the SNS Health medical plans. There's instructions on how to find providers and what have you for that. New ID cards. So the plan, the goal is that everyone's going to have ID cards mailed to your homes, by the way. They're going to be sent to your home. So they often look like junk mail, everyone. So keep your eye out for them. It will have some language on it as far as being in an ID card, but keep your eye out. They'll arrive to the home. If you need to see a doctor before you receive the card, so you can go onto SNS's site to print a temporary ID card, all right? In addition to that, we also have on the website the plan information. One second, please. We have the plan information so that you can give it to your doctor. So if you find yourself, for example, in the pharmacy, you need to pick up a prescription, you can give the pharmacy this information here, your RX BIN number, your PCN number, so on and so forth, and they'll be able to find you in the system with that information, all right? And we're going to add the group number onto the website as well. But you'll be able to go onto those links on August 1st, not prior. On August 1st, you'll be able to go to those links and get that information. Can we postpone the start date? No, you cannot. If you are eligible for insurance today or for August 1st, then this is your opportunity to enroll. We can't postpone it. Now, we talked earlier about qualifying events. If you're asking to postpone your start date until January 1st, 2020, because you're currently enrolled on your parents' insurance or your spouse's insurance, and that goes until January 1st, 2020, well then that's a qualifying event. If you're going to lose your coverage on January 1st, 2020, then you will have a qualifying event and you'll be able to make an off anniversary change. But if you are waiving the coverage now and then whimsically want to enroll later, you will not be able to. There's a shout out thanks to Express for what they did on the rates passed on to you, and I agree with this individual. That was Philip. That was a great job on the executive team's part. If I fulfilled my deductible last month, will that be good till the end of the year? Does the deductible restart? The deductible does not restart August 1st, 2019. You have a calendar year deductible. So that will restart January 1st. Even though we're renewing August 1st, your deductible runs on a calendar year. So if you've satisfied your deductible or satisfied a portion of your deductible on the current Cigna plan, what we are, on our end, what we're trying to get, SNS is going to Cigna to see if they can get a deductible report. That deductible report will show where everyone is in satisfying their deductible or having satisfied their deductible. You, on your level, you can go on to Cigna's website and you can get your history for the year. So you can have your history for the year and see that you've satisfied your deductible, maybe how much of your out-of-pocket maximum you satisfied, or how much of your deductible you satisfied. You can pull that report yourself as well, but we're trying to get that directly from Cigna so that we can feed it over to SNS for administrative purposes. And IT tip, just going through the questions, keep them coming if there's anything on your mind. Jennifer, do you have anything to add? All right. Let me make sure that everyone is unmuted.
Hello, team. Nothing from my side. If anyone has any type of questions, you guys can send me an email. I am on the call now. That's why I wasn't answering my phone. But you guys can even text me at 732-875-9153. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That number is here as well for everyone to see. Someone asked, how do I enroll off anniversary? You can contact Jennifer at the time that you're about to lose your insurance. You can contact Jennifer to enroll off anniversary. Now, everyone, this is important. You have 30 days from a qualifying event to enroll off anniversary. So if you get married, you have 30 days from the date you got married to either enroll in the insurance or add your new spouse. Your spouse will not like you if you wait until the 35th day. So get that in. And if you're about to have a child, I always tell people, if you know the gender, know the name, fill out as much of the material as possible beforehand so that, you know, it's kind of zombie land when you first welcome a child into the world. You're a bit sleep deprived. So keep in mind that 30 days. You have 30 days from the qualifying event to get your election in. Question about the 30% after the deductible. So On these plans, you have 30% coinsurance after the deductible. So we'll start with this plan here, the Open Access Plus. You have a $500, $1,000 deductible for specific services, not all of them, specific services here. So you satisfy your deductible, and then you pay 30% of the negotiated price for the service, while the insurance company pays 70%. You have a ceiling protection. This is important. So part of healthcare reform, part of the Obama administration's plan was to have a maximum out of pocket. You heard President Obama talking about how people in such and such state are still paying off medical bills and what have you. Maximum out of pocket protection is there. So you will pay 30% coinsurance after your deductible. You'll pay your copays. The most that you would pay in any given year is $6,250 if you're single, $12,500 if you're an employee with one or more dependents. New Jersey and some other states already had that ceiling protection, but there were many states in the country that did not have that ceiling. So that was a value add under the Obama administration. After August 1st, we no longer have access to the Cigna app. Website's correct. You still have access to that information because you can, even though we're leaving Cigna as the administrator, you can still go back to your previous carrier and get information out of them. So I'm not sure about the mobile app. I'm not the tech guy there, but you'll still be able to log on with your Cigna username and password if you need to go back and pull any older information. Does SNS have an app? Yes, they do. And I believe that was put on the portal as well. One of these links. We put a lot on here, guys. There's a lot that we wanted to get in front of you. So Medical SNS Health Mobile app right here. So you have the mobile app there to log on to. I don't want to, there's a question about braces I want to go back and find. And if I'm not mistaken, that was the only one I didn't answer so far. ID cards, braces referral. So let's go over to the dental. We can go up to, well, how to sign up for benefits. That's going to be your site for the balance point. Benefit plan information, we click on that. Now you have your medical, it defaults to medical. Oh, and by the way, if you're considering two plans and you want to just compare those two plans, you can compare all 5 medical plans, the 2 MECs and the 3 plans with SNS, or you can just streamline it. Click on the 2 that you want to compare, hit compare, and then you'll have that information side by side, so you can compare that. But let's go over to the dental. So I'm going to click on the dental, view plan information, benefit items, and now braces are going to anything like that's going to need pre-authorization. It's not a referral, it's pre-authorization, just basically approval. The dentist says that it's needed. Now, braces are not covered under the dental plan. You can still access the discounted rate though. So talk to your dentist about that. Plan documents if you have more information. Oh, and the dental has a program which I like a lot. It's their rollover program. So if you don't use all of your maximum allowed benefit under the dental plan, you can roll a portion of that over into additional years. That comes in handy because when it comes to having something like root canals, you don't have those every year. But if you go to the dentist and lo and behold, you need 2 of them or 3 of them, you can use up all of the money that you have allowed underneath the dental plan. So that rollover allows you to save money in good years for future years. It's very helpful. I'm looking at the AFLAC part of balance point and it shows $0. Is this correct? No, AFLAC is a voluntary benefit, Justin. So there would be contributions for that as well. I don't know, I can't speak on Balance Point, what they have in their system for that, but if you want to see how much the AFLAC costs, you've got the critical illness, hospital indemnity, the disability, the rates are here on the site for you. And of course, contact Josh as well. His information's right here. He can help you out. I think I am caught up with the questions that have come in on the chat room. Does anyone else have anything? Okay. I got a confirmation on the SNS app. The mobile app that the individual tried to log into was for Express Scripts directly. I'll reach out to SNS, and I'm sure that they've got that information. We'll add it to the site. So thank you for pointing that out. And with that, I'm sorry, 1 second, please. Oh, okay. I was just told that SNS itself doesn't have a mobile app, just Express Scripts. So that's confirmed. Express Scripts has a mobile app, but SNS does not. Quick question. All right, I'm caught up on the chat room. I'm caught up on the Skype emails that I've been given. Anyone else have a question? All right. If that's everything, guys, thank you very much for the time that you've given us today to participate in this webinar. If you have any additional, give yourself an opportunity to look through the site. Again, there's a lot of information here, a lot of things to click on. So check out the site as well. Give us a call if you have any questions. Remember that you've got James over at Legal Shield and Josh over at AFLAC to answer any questions for you, and then of course your HR team at Express Stores. Jennifer, if there's nothing else, then I think we'll wrap this up. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day.